For most parents, it's among their biggest fears that someone will abuse their child. According to the CDC, about 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 13 boys in the United States experience child sexual abuse. In 91% of these cases, someone the child knows and trusts is the abuser. This is often the result of child grooming. Child grooming is when someone deliberately establishes an emotional connection with a child to prepare them for abuse. Groomers manipulate children with the end goal of sexual exploitation like human trafficking, prostitution, or child pornography. Groomers are often trusted authority figures, neighbors, or even friends. Groomers have no problem taking their time to ensure they fully groom a child, even if it takes years. Child grooming takes place in person and online, and what often appears innocent can take a dark turn. Groomers will befriend a child through mutual hobbies or interests to earn their trust. They will establish a relationship, fill their needs, isolate your child, sexualize the relationship, and then exert control. The groomer will attempt to convince your child that they love them in a way that you cannot. This is the lie too many kids believe. Psychological trauma from grooming can last a lifetime, leading to depression, anxiety, and loneliness. Kids begin to believe only what their groomer says because they are trapped in a form of mental slavery. The loss of innocence is painful. If the grooming leads to physical abuse, the results could include sexually transmitted diseases or pregnancy. Kids who suffer sexual abuse also tend to enter abusive relationships as adults. Groomers play the long game. They build up the trust of a child over time before making their move. After being betrayed, establishing trust in the future with anyone can be very difficult for victims. Groomers select kids based on ease of access and perceived vulnerability. This means kids already deemed socially awkward or behavioral outliers are particularly in danger. Kids who are loners will be targeted. Groomers don't want resistance. Kids who are struggling with a personal relationship will slip further into despair once trapped in the grooming cycle. Dad, it's up to you to initiate conversation about grooming with your son or daughter. It could save them from a life of torment. Groomers don't care about your child. They only care about the exploitation of your child. Tell your son or daughter to be wary of any adult giving them gifts or wanting to spend time alone with them. Those are red flags. Reports of child sexual abuse material online have increased by 15,000% over the last 15 years. Child grooming happens online primarily during interactive games or in the metaverse, virtual reality. Explain to your kids the dangers associated with social media and any digital platforms where people connect. Don't let your kids play unsupervised on the internet. One sign of grooming is inappropriate touching. Hugs seem innocent and tickling doesn't always seem bad, but groomers use escalating touch to desensitize kids to sexual situations. When a groomer does not encounter resistance, they will push further. Eventually, that hug turns into longer embraces, then massaging, and eventually sexual contact. It's always incremental, so be aware that the first sign of unusual physical contact is step 1. Your son or daughter needs to be empowered with information about their body. First, teach them that nobody has the right to touch them in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable. This will also teach them to respect others' privacy. Then, teach them about their own body, and more specifically, what is considered a private part. Just make sure that they are not made to feel ashamed of their body. Kids of any age can be groomed, but this tends to happen more frequently to younger children. They are more vulnerable and trusting of adults they consider to be authority figures. They also won't recognize warning signs the way more mature teens might. So please, protect your child by starting the conversation early and having it often. For help reporting sexual abuse, call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 800-656-HOPE.